Nick speaking, and welcome to this video right Necron learning curve, and today we're having a look at tomb blades. So first up, I don't have tomb blade models, as you can see. These are actually old destroyer models. Long and short of the story is that I had a heap of destroyer models in my case. Let's face it, Games Workshop decided to give the destroyers a little bit of a nerf. Okay, they made the gun slightly better, but we'll talk about destroyers in a separate video. But basically, they introduced a new unit, Tomb Blades, which basically does exactly what destroyers used to do. It's almost like a destroyer unit. Gave us new models. I wasn't up for buying those. I've always wanted these old destroyer models here. For me, they make perfect Tomb Blades. So I searched at eBay, took my time, picked these up, most of these models for about £3 each, so it's an absolute bargain. What I've done is I've magnetised them all. Check out my previous videos, but yeah, they've all got magnets on the bases, which looks, well, it just helps store them really more than anything. Okay, so let's have a look at how we're going to use them, what guns to take, etc. So, I mentioned that these are replaced destroyers. The main reason for that really is that these guys are jet bikes, which is what destroyers used to be. Destroyers now are jump infantry. Now, okay, they don't have the long range that the old destroyers used to have. They used to be 36 inches. But with their ability to move fast, we can cope with that. They're actually quite a cheap unit. They're only 20 points each as base. Now yes, there are lots of options. I think the great thing about this unit is that you can really hone in with the options and dedicate them to certain things in the game. So first of all, there's 3 gun options. You have the Tauser carbines, you have the particle beamer, and you have the Gauss blaster. Particle beamer, 10 points, it's quite an expensive gun. But let's face it, it's pretty good. 24-inch blast template, strength 6, AP 5. That's pretty good. If you coincide that with I think it's called the Nebula scope for 5 points, makes them ballistic skill 5. So these little blasts are pretty much not going to be scattering. I mean, you're going to get your blast templates. So that would be 5 strength 6 blast templates at 24 inches. Plus, you've got your movement, so you can move your 12 and shoot those blast templates. That's 36-inch potential shooting, which is pretty good. Gauss blasters, actually, I mean, it's all again down to what you're using the unit for, but Gauss blasters are actually again quite useful if you're going to go out scoping light vehicles plus infantry. The Gauss blaster is quite a good all-round gun. Get into rapid fire range, you've got 2 shots each, so that's 10 shots. Obviously Gauss weapons, auto glance on a roll of a 6 to hit, to wound. So that's fantastic. You can take out vehicles, you can take out infantry. It's got quite a good AP on there, it's AP 4, so if you are up against orcs or maybe Eldar, something like that, there's going to be no saves involved, which is fantastic. So that is another good option, and of course the Tesla carbines. I mean, how could we not love Tesla? Any rolls of a 6 to wound, had to hit, get my wounds and hits mixed up. Any rolls to 6 of a hit gives you 2 extra shots. So that is again quite an amazing thing to have. The Gauss blasters are free. As I said, the particle beamers 10 points each. So the points do add up a bit. Other options, it's a 4+ save as they stand, as basic, but with the shield veins we can give them a 3+ save, which really increases the potential of these guys staying alive. 3+ save, awesome. Combined with, obviously, moving gives you your jinx save, and turbo boosting gives you your 4+ save. But we can do even better than that. We can put shadow looms on there, giving them stealth. So that means that they're going to have a 3+ save, they're going to have a 4+ jinx save just for moving, and then if they turbo boost they'll have a 3+ jinx save. So we can really beef these guys up. Now obviously it is a much bigger points investment to do that, but if depending on the role that you're giving these guys, it may be worth it. And I think that's what you need to do. you need to assign them a role, have a pre-planned mission for these guys, rather than just taking them and just putting them on the board. You know, you need to think about what you could use them for. You could go cheap, 100 points, you know, 5 bikes on there, good little distraction unit, reasonable gun power, fast moving. You could reserve them, use them for line breaker, you know, all that sort of goodness. Or you could just give them every upgrade, which, to be fair, is how I tend to use them. I know it makes the unit expensive, but every upgrade gives them a really good chance of doing something on the table. Now, the way that I would use them is, in deployment, I'd have them up front. Now, ideally, you'd like to take first turn, which means you can obviously move and get your jinx. Now, if you're unable to do that, then Solar Pulse could be quite useful, giving you the night fight, just in case there is no night fight. Or, of course, there's Terrain, which is obviously always good. But yes, so deploy them around central position, and then straight up on the off, turbo boost them towards the weakest enemy flank. You want to start picking off units with these. I mean, this unit isn't going to survive one massive turn of shooting from your enemy. But if you can just flank them behind a piece of terrain, get ready to pounce the next turn, then that is where they come into their own. Target those long fangs at the back. Depending on the guns that you have, you could go out and try and target those predators, whirlwinds, you know, all those little annoying vehicles that are at the back taking pop shots at you. You could just go out and try and target your opponent's troops with these guys. You know, you just assign them a mission, focus on that, and use them for that, basically. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's how I would use them. I do prefer to have them kitted out with everything myself. My main gun that I like to use is the particle beamer, although I do use Gauss blasters on there as well occasionally if I need to keep the points down. But I do like to take this, but all 3 upgrades. I like to have the 3+ save, I like to give them stealth, and I like to give them the ballistic skill 5. Even though they hit on 4s normally, hitting 3s or normally, hitting on 2s is huge. Unless of course you're just going for cheap. Okay, so I think that's it for these. I think pretty much you can't go wrong. Whatever you take for them, you can't go wrong as long as you have them assigned to the correct role on the table. So yeah, have a think about how you want to use them, kit them out for that particular purpose, and you can't really go wrong. Okay, so next we're going to look at destroyers.